Hello everyone and welcome back to All Time Scary, a YouTube channel dedicated to exploring the strange. Today we're checking out 5 brand new Mandela effects. To get started, here's what the Mandela effect is for those of you who do not know. Pause and read this. Now, assuming this is true, the Mandela effect can change history, both small and large. This means not only memories, but also historical events, people, names, and places. The obvious is that history could be changed and deleted with the Mandela effect. But the not so obvious is that it can also be created. Something that no one has ever heard of yesterday can become popular and well known today. Later on in today's video, we're going to dive into one of those specific Mandela effects. From aquatic animals and cartoon cheetahs to Pokemon mysteries and the king of pop himself, let's check out 5 brand new Mandela effects. The majestic orca whale, also known as the killer whale, is one of the most recognizable mammals in the ocean, perhaps only rivaled by the great white shark. Today's first Mandela effect has to do with the design and pattern on the killer whale. Does something look a bit off to you, or is everything normal in this photo? Perhaps I changed something, or perhaps I did not. So here's my question. Has the killer whale always had a mustache pattern on the back behind its dorsal fin? Yes or no? These photos have not been altered by me in any way. That strange mustache pattern on the back of the killer whale, well, turns out it's always been there. When I first heard of this Mandela effect, I quickly Googled as many images of killer whales and orca whales as I could find. And as it turns out, it has indeed always been there. Does this strange mustache-looking shape look right to you? Do you remember this design on Free Willy's back? Please, let me hear all of your thoughts in the comments below. The crunchy snack brand Cheetos were invented in 1948, and their most well-known mascot, Chester Cheetah, was debuted in 1986. This smooth-talking feline had numerous quotes over the years, like, "The cheese that goes crunch," and "dangerously cheesy." But he is most well-known for this quote. So here's my question to you. Which of these is his signature quote? Is it, "It ain't easy being cheesy," or is it, "It's not easy being cheesy"? So this Mandela effect is interesting because, like many children of the 1980s and 1990s, advertising was so heavily pushed on us through children's television. Slogans like this could have been heard thousands of times depending on the child and how much television they watched. So, of course, the correct answer is actually, "It's not easy being cheesy." Is that what you remember? I personally remember, "It ain't easy being cheesy," as do many commenters and posters online, but it's nowhere to be seen anymore. In fact, if you look this up on Google Trends, it shows tons of searches for "it ain't easy being cheesy," but very few, if at all, for "it's not easy being cheesy." Interestingly enough, on Wikipedia, it now incorrectly says that "it ain't easy being cheesy" is one of Chester's quotes, but without citation. Then if you look it up online, the only clips you can find are "it's not easy being cheesy." So what do you remember? I'm excited to hear all of your thoughts because this one right here, it's a confusing mess. As I mentioned in the opening of this video, assuming the Mandela effect is indeed real, it could change the past in numerous ways. It can alter the past, it can delete the past, and controversially, I believe, create the past, as in bring into existence something that didn't exist but is now widely known and accepted. For number 3, we're going to check out one of those Mandela effects. Have you ever heard of an eyeball piercing? I've heard of eyeball tattoos before, I've heard of eyebrow piercings before, but never eyeball piercings. Supposedly this has been around since 2003. Does this sound right to you? Does this even sound plausible to you? Perhaps this is simply something everyone wasn't aware of previously. That's always a possibility, of course. But I have an interesting piece of anecdotal evidence. My girlfriend managed a piercing studio for years, and neither her nor her previous staff have ever heard of this. I'm talking piercers with years and years of experience and expertise being completely confused how something like this could even function. For this Mandela effect, I figured a question wasn't necessary because the answer would have been an overwhelming no. So there you go. I'd love to know what you think about this. Has anyone out there ever heard of this before? Express your disgust in the comments below. When Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue launched in America for the Nintendo Game Boy, it was a phenomenon. It felt like every kid in the US was playing Pokemon. In these games, there are 15 types of Pokemon, each type having a weakness and a strength. Think rock, paper, scissors. Fire beats grass beats water water beats rock, etc. Today's Mandela effect has to do with the psychic type Pokemon in the original games. What type of attack was strong against psychic type Pokemon? Was it psychic types, or was it bug types? Now, I know this question is a little niche, but it's actually something pretty interesting. As it turns out, the type strongest against psychic Pokemon in Pokemon Red and Blue was Bug. Here's why it's confusing to so many people online. Originally, as a lot of people remember it, each type had a strength and a weakness. The odd one out was psychic type Pokemon. Psychic types were strong against most types, but its weakness was only itself. But apparently, not anymore. Psychic type Pokemon were too strong, and the only thing that they were weak against was Psychic type. So that never existed now, but strangely enough, and follow me here, they still fixed that problem in the Pokemon sequels, with the inclusion of Dark type Pokemon, which were strong against Psychic type. Interesting that they would add a solution to a problem that now never existed. If Bug types were always strong against Psychic types, why would they add a brand new type in the next game to counter Psychic types? I don't necessarily have an opinion on this either way, but what do you think? Were Psychic types always weak to other Psychic types, or were Psychic types always weak to Bug types? For our final Mandela effect, we are looking at the classic song Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Right before the chorus starts, there's a verse that says, "People always told me, be careful of what you do, and don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And blank always told me, be careful who you love." What goes in the blank? Is it mother always told me, be careful who you love? Or is it mama always told me, be careful who you love? I don't know what you chose, but the answer is indeed mother, not mama. So it's mother always told me to be careful of who you love, not mama always told me to be careful of who you love. I originally heard of this in a subreddit, and I had to play the song right away to hear if it actually was mother. It turns out it is indeed mother. Is that what you remember? I'm super curious to hear what everyone says in the comments below. For today's first bonus Mandela effect, I'm talking about the classic radio and television production, The Lone Ranger. As the show starts, a narrator kicks things into actions with the words, "A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty blank." What is that final phrase? Is it "Hi-yo, Silver"? Or is it "Hi-ho, Silver"? While residue for the opposite can be found all over the internet, it turns out that the phrase is now "Hi-yo, Silver." Is that what you remember? Even lyric websites and YouTube videos still say "Hi-ho, Silver," but the audio now says "Hi-yo, Silver." And then get this, if you go to the Smithsonian website, they have an entire feature written up about the classic "Hi-yo, Silver" from the Lone Ranger. Even my silent generation grandmother was thrown off by this. What about you? Does that sound right to you? Do you even know what I'm talking about? The Laughing Cow is a brand of cheese and dairy products that has existed for nearly 100 years, and their mascot is Elsie the cow. This brand is not new to Mandela effects. Previously, one of them was that Elsie the cow was missing her nose ring, as seemingly a lot of people remembered her having a gold ring in her nose. But today's Mandela effect has to do with her ears. What do you remember about the mascot and her ears? Did she have gold hoop earrings, or no earrings at all? After thinking it over, what do you remember? The answer is actually neither of these. Elsie actually has the literal package that she's on dangling from her ears. It's meta on an entirely other level. Sorry to throw you for a loop like that, but if you knew this, wouldn't you have already thought of the correct answer in the first place? This change has been freaking out a ton of people over on Facebook and on Reddit. So does this look right to you? Do you remember those being her earrings? I certainly don't.